the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today we're talking about belief, ideas, and why we're stuck with them with all the collective noise that goes around, even the good collective noise.
I know, right? It's going to be a really fun show. We've been really working on this behind the scenes, really coming up with some of the concepts and really excited about sharing some of
Yeah,
this with you
and
today.
some of the new words that go with it, it's going to be a blast.
Ooh. But first up, we've got a little bit of Mystic Space weather news. Could Easter 2026 be the catalyst for extraterrestrial disclosure? And is that why lots of people are seeing strange phenomena in the sky around the world recently? Well, according to Chris Bledsoe, a UFO author, yes. Chris Bledsoe stated that around Easter, Iran and Israel will trade missiles,
Missiles.
leading to the emergence of interdimensional forces that will stop the war and awaken humanity. He says back in 2013, he was informed by a divine being that around Easter 2026, Iran and Israel would trade missiles, and at that point, interdimensional forces will emerge to stop the war. Ooh, it's interesting. And awaken humanity. So that was his quote. Basically, he was stating that to make all of this happen, he is saying that back in 2013, he had changed the timeline a couple of times
Uh-huh.
and then brought it all back together when we started to see this war emerge. Now, this has also been documented in his books. It's also been on various different podcasts. So when you look at the global uprising and the war today, and you look at all the different sightings that people are having, it is quite interesting. So, and to make matters even more interesting, there are different people that are posting like all over social media the
Yep.
orbs that they are seeing in the sky. Even Stefan Burns or the meteors that we just saw like 2 days ago. There's been meteors that have been formed over like Utah, Texas,
Yep.
California, even Germany. And the geophysicist Stefan Burns, who I told y'all about before, he says that this is an anomaly as well because the meteorite showers that we see are not normal for this time.
Uh-huh.
And in addition to that, I remember 3 years ago when I worked on that big QHHT project,
Yeah.
the seers in my project did say that we would start to see anomaly or we would start to get more of the visitations of knowing that we may not be alone
Alone.
through the form of orbs. And at
Yeah.
the time, I had no idea what they even meant. I just thought maybe we'd see like something out of the corner of our eye or we
Yeah.
might have some experience of a loved one. No, I had no idea people would be seeing and posting video of like actual orbs in the sky. Now people are, it's so common. Like if you look at TikTok or if you look at even Instagram and YouTube, there are just full videos and montages of people and their different sightings. I am curious as to what you all think. Do you think it's just staged? Do you think it's maybe the government trying to like let us on and let us know like what do they call it? Like I don't know. The word is kind of like it's a slow disclosure instead of a full
Well,
disclosure.
don't you think it better be a slow disclosure or everyone's gonna go
Right,
ape about
right,
it?
right,
Absolutely.
right. And do you think that we're going to have that happen at all? There were times, and I was just watching this the other day about the Fukushima incident, and when you had the reactors melt down, that there were, after that particular whole incident in 2011, that when that happened, and during that time, and after that there were several orbs recorded in the sky. Now I can't, vouch for that or I've never really seen it, but there
Yeah.
were eyewitnesses that said that, they've taken recordings of this and they believe that they may have stepped in to help us avoid a nuclear disaster
Yeah.
or meltdown here in obviously Japan and then also around the world. So I'm
Totally.
curious again. Do you think that they'll step in and kind of mitigate
Some
and
of
keep
the
us
ones on
from?
the chat definitely do.
I love it. What are they saying? They said yes.
Yes,
Pay
pay
attention to
attention.
the messengers. That's right. And then planet orange, purple ring. Oh, and people are talking about the different things that they may have experienced. My son and I even recorded an orb like 2 or 3 years ago, and I thought, this is funny. I was like, what is that? But I had
Right?
no idea it looked like, and if I looked at it now compared to what people were just posting on, I had no idea that this would be the phenomenon that people were posting about. So anyway, let me know your comments in the chat below.
So, you guys, I was in Missouri this weekend and I got to visit my 97-year-old
Oh,
aunt.
yay.
And when her daughter Robin came back, I had a brief little conversation with my cousin Don. And I was just talking about all the things we talk about. And he was just right on my same page. And he really brought up something that I thought would be a very fun topic to explore even deeper.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about beliefs, limiting beliefs. We've talked a lot about identity. And we've talked a lot about really awakening, beyond just these blah, blah, blah. Here's a limiting belief. Let's just pull that out from the root and live our lives a little bit better.
Yeah.
Well, what if, what would happen if we really all were God and we were all a seed of God? And it came down to, well, if God was making a game or a simulation,
Ooh, we went deep fast. I mean, I thought orbs were fast.
wouldn't it be very fun for God to make everyone different
Yes.
and have different fingerprints and have them really understand what oneness was, including how we, quote, relate to each other?
Yes.
And relationship. Yes, I just wanted to open up the conversation in a way, because as soon as I told Lyanca this morning, this is what I wanted to talk about, she said, well, then we'd go to our past lives, and our past lives are probably suckier than our current life.
I didn't say that, but I said
Could be. I said if we were empty. But I wanted to go back, like, not the past lives. Like, who are we with stripped down nothing in our belief system? And to contemplate creating a life where you can enter into this primordial sea where you have infinite possibilities and could literally pull any strand of anything to make it happen. Yes, I like when she does that little look. She's like, where are we going? What are you thinking?
I think that we would still, because we have our own signature resonance, which is exactly like you said, our own fingerprint and our own like resonance.
Yes.
Um,
Which can be altered to a degree.
yeah, I mean, it just like it makes me think of, oh gosh, it makes me think of mapping, right? Like I've been kind of playing with this whole idea of why can our name be mapped? Why can't our birthday be mapped to give us an archetype of ourselves? How is it that the design keys can represent whether or not we are a manifesting generator, and how is that done based upon your birth time and your birth date and all this stuff, right? I think it's the design keys that does that. Right. And further, how is it that that your hand, remember when you had the chica on, Orna, who does hand readings
with your lines,
and it's not palm reading, it's basically like deciphering like what's the different lines on your hand as a map to like find out about love. And I was like, and if your brain changes, your hand map changes, right? So yes. I thought, oh, that's so weird, because it resembles in some way the rewiring of our brain, but again, it's still a map of some sort. And so it made me think that we absolutely are mapped in the matrix, right? Because we were placed with this. Now, everything within the matrix has its own orchestration. So where we end up in this map, if you will, like if it's like all these and then we're here, and I guess that's the image of the web is what's coming through.
Indra's web.
Right. And so like as we traverse through this little webbing, it each time we make a decision or weave a thought,
Yeah.
every time that we weave a thought, then it puts us in a different place on this map, and this your hand would change with it
That
as
just,
well.
well, that's just the expression of it.
So the signature resonance, just like you said, would change as well. As right, because this is the
Yes.
expression of it. And that is where we get to have this really cool journey with our free will. And further, I was listening to a very prominent podcast. I think it was Amelia or something, and it was Stefan Matthias and Edward Grant. Is it Edward Grant? Robert Grant.
I'm not sure.
They were talking about how if God, like we had to have this experience because it, like God as like oneness, God as itself, or oneness, or the core, or the source. If there would be no experiencing of itself if it already knew, like let's say, like if it already knew every single outcome. And so by us having us be split and fractured in all these different places, we can then give a new experience back to the source. And so it's able to experience itself mirrored, and that's the reason why we are mirrored or mirroring back everything. So it's like basically, it was source wanting to know, like, if I ask a girl out, it was kind of funny that they used it. They're like, if I asked a girl out, would I get a response, right? Like, if you're God or your source, you would already know the answer, right? Like, because
Well, because there's no timeline.
Correct. You know the outcomes of everything. But because we are source, like wanting to experience itself, it's like the man that creates like a clay woman so that he can have a spouse, so that they can have fun, right? Like it's like the rejoice, it's the experience, it's the free will, it's all of it coming back to create this whole bigger experience of source.
Yes.
Isn't that wild?
It's so cool.
And whenever you had brought that up, I said, well, yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be everything is so that we remember, right? So, and it's not like remember as in like, oh, I recall something. It's like I remember to be a member of source again. Like how you said it. Isn't it funny how we all like we're all here, and we forgot that we're together, right? We were oneness at one time, and so we try to mimic each other. And I think that's
that's where we got screwed up,
right?
Because we were trying to find, like, when you go and meet somebody new, which I did a lot this weekend. You start to relate. You're like, oh, you went to the hot springs in Arkansas. I went to the hot springs in Arkansas.
Oh, you said you try to find that common ground.
Right.
You try to relate. Yes.
And then, and you really look at everything's relationship. I have a relationship with you.
Yes.
I have a relationship with these flowers.
Yes.
I have a relationship with that tree.
Yes.
And it's like,
with all of y'all.
With all of y'all. Our Mystique group is here.
And all the howdies and new earth hustlers. I love that.
That's even better.
That join us all the time. Thank y'all. But yes, everything that y'all do is a relationship to each other.
Yeah.
Especially in the community, but and how we relate to you, and how even just the little comments will change the outcome of even this show, right?
Yes.
It's just crazy. It's crazy to think about. It's crazy but
it's even crazy that my relationship and the actions I took over the weekend really opened the door for our next conversation.
Yes.
And it always is like that. It's just like, I mean, we truly just follow the energy
Yeah.
all the time. And that awakens, well, even the things that don't work. It's like, okay, well, we know we're trying to get a better camera. Well, the better camera is not, quote, working, right? You know, it's blurry in some areas. And we have like, okay, well, that's still us following the energy. We want something better, we want something greater. And yet that didn't work, so we went back to the what did work.
Right.
But then that'll have us seeking for more and better, and figure that out, that piece of the puzzle.
Right.
And it's just like there's always a next something,
Yeah.
piece of the puzzle. And you can get in this life and you can get stuck by the noise, like, oh, it didn't work again. Oh, and then make it about
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
because that's one of our collective
Yep.
noises,
Yeah.
because we are all one.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
So, I mean, even the collective noise when we're getting this, the UFOs are coming, the UFOs are coming. And we keep hearing that in the field.
Yeah.
We keep hearing it from some of our guests as well. But that's becoming, let's be the louder collective noise, right? Let's be the collective noise of this oneness,
Yeah.
instead of the harsh separation.
Absolutely. And I think that's the beauty of, even with all our flaws,
Yeah.
and our mishaps, even the beauty of being able to do this show live is, and why we really made it a point to do it live, because it's easier. Let me tell you, it's so much easier to just pre-record. We can do it in our own time. Like, we can not have all these mishaps, in real time.
And an urgency to get it
Yes.
in at a certain time.
And it's all perfect, right?
Yep.
It's edited, but we wouldn't have the beauty of being able to really tap into what people are feeling
Yeah.
and experiencing, and bring in the conversation as timely as, orbs in the sky, or
Yes.
meteors, or your aunt's conversation, right?
Yes.
Like, because, and it was very important to us to do that.
Yes.
So you get to see all of our crazy live mishaps, and maybe we'll put together a bloopers reel.
And thank goodness for,
Yeah.
you guys, and you guys are keeping the flow going. So
Yeah.
when we get, so sometimes it's almost like we need something from the audience to enliven the conversation. So, you guys, I had so much fun this weekend. I visited my aunt who I was quote babysitting her, which she needs no babysitting at all. Like, she even knows like every med that she wants to take, and she's like, and the doctor does want me to take this LASIK, but I only take it every other day. But it does make my legs look skinnier, so.
I love it. She's like, and I think that's also the secret to her success. Like,
She's just joy.
Yeah, you're always talking about her.
So much joy with her.
How would you say again she was?
She's 97.
Golly.
She's 97 and a half. So
Yeah.
2.5 more years and we'll welcome in the centennial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's funny, we kind of eat the same now that I'm on the detox. I'm like, what do you want for dinner? Let's just have a baked potato with some olive oil on it.
Oh, that's so cute. And the way you talk about her, it's obvious that you can tell she comes from the place of joking and fun and lots of joy and laughter.
Yes.
Like, just really weaves that into her life. And I think that's like really the secret.
She also doesn't come to conclusions and make anything happen. Because she scared me one day, because she's like, gosh, my arm hurts today. And I'm like, thinking, you're not dying on my watch. I'm only coming here for 4 days.
She would joke about that.
And she would joke about, we talked a lot about death. And she even thinks that her husband that died had a hand in hooking her up with her little friend, her boyfriend.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of cute that, and she's like, my arm hurts today, but didn't make it anything significant. it was just like, I wonder why. Not even I slept on it wrong. There was just kind of, it just is this
Just an
today.
awareness
Just an awareness.
and kind of an acceptance at that point. We're just like,
Yeah. It's like,
instead of
this is
being
what today is,
how
you
funny
know.
because how many times have, and I think that's
The
also
spiral. Yes.
yes, kind of like all of the different hospital shows we watch or anything like that. It's like we're so quick to try to make a diagnosis,
Yes.
because we feel like we want to understand ourselves. When really we could be the ones that are creating much more, I guess, pain and strife, or
Mm.
even disease in ourselves by trying to diagnose ourselves so quickly, right? Like for her,
Yeah.
she was just like, okay, cool, my arm hurts, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
me, I'd be like, oh, I wonder what this is from. Maybe it
Yeah.
was,
What do I need to
right.
do? What do I
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
do?
What should I
Instead of,
take? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Should I take, and she was never one that would run for an Advil or
Yeah.
anything,
Wow.
right? And yeah, it's just like one day at a time for her, you know. And it's funny. I was like, "Can I help you with that?" And she's like, "No, I need to get up and walk
I
anyway."
love it. I love that.
Right?
So Katie says, "Love, joy, and happiness will keep you young!" Exclamation
Yep.
point! Exclamation point!
Yep.
And she said, "Boyfriend at 97, you go, grandma."
I know. Well, her boyfriend died 2 years ago.
Oh.
At around in his 90s. I don't
Yeah.
know what it was, but it was kind of awesome.
Well, in her 90s, like having a boyfriend,
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Wow.
was kind of funny. She's like, I don't even need to go to doctors anymore. I don't need to do anything preventive. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I got
So
where
she
you are.
knows, like, she's very okay with where she's at and everything like
Agreed.
that.
And she
Interesting.
knows exactly where she's at. And she's just like waiting to run to the light. Show me
Aw.
the light. Help my exit be easy and show me to
Oh,
the
I love
light.
that. Because, I mean, golly, she's brought so much fun and energy into, it seems like, her life in full. And what you were able to take away
Yeah.
from that was really, really cool as
And I
well.
took away a lot. She loved gardening. And now she wants them to just give her some little plants outside the front door that she can nurture. She's like, I could really grow some green peas. you know
I
it's
love
like,
it.
it's simple things. And I think that there's a big takeaway for all of us with some of these simple things. It's just, and there's joy in the simple.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Well, and I always talk about how
Yeah.
you find it's like rejoice in the remembrance of
Yeah.
me, and you find that in the Bible. And I always say, like, it's rejoice, which means that we've been in joy before, and this is the remembrance of not only just Jesus as of himself, but the remembrance of ourselves as oneness in Jesus,
Right.
and that is what can bring us back to peace and joy again.
Mhm.
And through the joy is how we. And I really was playing with this over the weekend, how we can really experience this journey as not like I have to get to here or I have to get to here. It's like you can weave in the joy and experience it throughout the entire time. And that is what brings you more of what you desire. Like it starts
Yeah.
from there, right? You starts from
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
I feel like we're broken records on
I
that,
know.
but
I
I
know.
also feel like it needs to be heard over and over
I
again.
know.
On the plane, I sat next to an Irish woman.
Okay.
I had the window seat, she had the middle seat, and there was a dude that was like hyper amped up, that he had plane anxiety and stuff like that. And it was a 3-hour flight. And she just sat there and was quiet and meditated and drank plain water and coffee. And I had a TV going on with like some movie, and this other guy was like everywhere. I mean, literally dropped things on her, and she's just like really present, really calm. And I'm like, there's got to be something to say about those simpler ways. Yeah. Katie's like, hey, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. And then
Liz
Liz
says,
agrees.
yeah, we have everything we need and more. We just tend to complicate things for ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, So I thought maybe today we could go through some of those things that are complicated in our life. Because I was thinking my life could use a cleanup,
I was gonna say,
right?
and even the wording of that can be restated because you were like,
Mm,
let's go through the things that are complicated in my life.
yes.
Um, it could be, let's go through the things, and because words are codes, and we always say
Yeah.
that, right? So even just the way that things come out of our mouth, we're trying. It could be more like, here are the things in my life that I am viewing as complicated.
Yes.
What
Well,
can, and then let's look at that,
let's
right?
look at what those things might be
Right.
so that we can untangle them. Because
Yeah.
when I think of complicated, I think of like all these cords like together in one ball, right?
Yep.
And I think that it's really important for us to go, I haven't even looked at what some of those things are because I won't even stop and take a breath and look at some of those things.
Interesting. And that
Yeah.
made me think of like our web again. And if you get to the part where it's all entangled and it's all, it's
Yeah.
like, where do you go within your web, right? Like, where do you
Yeah.
go? It's like stopping you because you're like, not looking at it, and B, it's all,
Well,
you're
you're in
letting
the
it.
middle of the tangle. You're like
Correct.
one of those cords that's diving under the other cord.
Yeah, like,
And you're like, I
like
can't get myself out of this cord.
like the old school iPhone, the
Yeah.
iPod, the little things and you
Uh-huh.
put them in your pocket and then you pull them out and you're like, what the hell? I couldn't make this knot if I tried,
Right.
right? And the
Funny.
funny thing is that like really and again, it's the things that we are viewing as complicated or making complicated. It may not even be complicated.
Yeah.
Like if we were to look at it and be like, what would it take for this to be totally with ease, right?
Yes.
What would it take for this to be, what other possibilities am I not considering? What other things can I consider that I'm not considering that could make this totally easy, with joy and glory?
Yeah.
And you can start to ask questions about that. And what that does is it gives you another possibility. And so it goes bing and it opens that up, right? Yeah. It gives you another pathway. Oh, that's a good
Well,
analogy.
and we can talk about the flybys we did on Friday.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go?
Go ahead.
So, on Friday, we had a long conversation. I was saying, there's something coming through about like timeline flyers, and I was saying, whenever we kind of make a conclusion like, oh, I so suck, or even I'm complicated, or I'm loud, and we kind of we're like, that is me, going back to identity,
Yep.
but then we kind of also make it wrong.
Ooh.
We were looking at the language with that.
Yeah.
Even the, I messed up again, right? It's like, well, maybe I was right on my path again. Maybe I needed to explore this so that something greater would open up. And we would just kind of keep talking ourselves out of it until we're like, yeah, that happened, and let's grow beyond it,
Yeah.
like fast. And I think it's really important for us to do words or codes in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about one of the beliefs that you've had in your life that just kind of goes on a cycle over and over and over again. We all have them, so let's just like look to see if those beliefs are actually true.
And you heard me talk on the last time I did Space Weather News. I was talking about how Louise Hay said that the forgiveness of self is one of the first principles that she teaches, whether it's you're struggling, and she'll anybody that comes to her, she's like, and she's worked with thousands of people. This is where you got the Hay House publishing, right? And I thought it was really extraordinary that this was the thing that she was teaching people to do, which was the mirror work, right? And I was like, that's not rocket science,
right?
But she talks about whether it's no matter if it's wealth, and I say wealth, money, health, relationships, anything that is plaguing you,
right?
Anything that you're making complicated or just stuckedness. She says it starts. I always tell everyone to do forgiveness of self. She says that is absolutely where you start from.
Yeah, well, that's where tapping is. I love and accept everything. I was just
going to say that. Oh my God, I was just going to say that. So
and
last
even
night,
Katie Byron is there too.
So last night, I was feeling like, I just felt like angst in my belly and in my chest, and I think it was probably because I was doing the news watching thing or the doom scrolling. I'm not sure. But which can be really easy. And so then I was like, what am I? And then I was like, but I was still feeling like some like worrisome stuff. And so then I started doing the tapping because my belly starts to do its weird stuff. So doing this makes me feel better. And then I was doing the beginning of the tapping, exactly what you were saying, is like, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. Right. Even though I have this belly thing, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. And then all of a sudden, this light bulb goes off, and it was like, the reason why tapping works is not just because you have this beautiful badass script, right, or this tapping script and all these things. It's because you start with the love of self. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. And I thought, oh my gosh, like that is the core of it. This is like, if nothing else, you were going to get into there because you started that way. And I thought, oh my God, that's brilliant. So I just worked on that. And then I did the Ho'oponopono, where I just was like, Lyanca. And it's, Ho'oponopono is the forgiveness of self as well.
So funny that all of these really start there.
Yeah, well, let me say the Ho'oponopono just in case somebody else was wondering. Great. And it's like, Lyanca, and I did it 10 times. It was like, Lyanca, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Lyanca, and then I said it again, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I thought of my younger self. I thought of myself yesterday. I thought of myself right now. And then I thought of myself, and then I imagined myself as a being looking at myself, giving forgiveness. I'm like, of course I'm going to forgive you, Lyanca. You're just another human having an experience. Yes. And I was like, oh, and then that's where it came out. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you for seeing me, Lyanca. So wild.
I know.
And I was like, I do love you. And then by the end of the 10th one, I was like, I do love you. You are just a human having a human experience. Like, you don't have to take any of this to heart, right? Like,
and you can even see that maybe that was just a thought in my brain that didn't even belong to me.
Yes. Yes, right? I mean, I could have started there, but for some reason, I just wanted to go through the whole motion of like self-love, and I thought I thought that I genuinely do love myself. Yes. But it was different and it was deeper. It was really interesting.
And Ho'oponopono is supposed to go to the Lyancas that we all are.
Yes.
Right? Yes. The oneness that we are too. That's why it worked so well when he was in a mental institution, because he was fixing things within himself that then was fixing things in others.
Yes.
I mean, talk about truly playing the game of this reality.
Yes, because it changes the outcome of the mirroring. If we are the simulation, then all of a sudden the simulation has to go, and it's like a different person that has the relationship with you. That's so creepy and wild and so empowering.
Yeah. Which then brings me to desire. And
let's see. Joe says, yes, Liz. I didn't get to see. Oh, Liz said reframing. Yes. And then Katie said, don't use words that take your power away.
Yeah.
Like can't. Instead, use won't.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for making that bigger. I felt like.
Yeah. Right. I was like I actually. Your aunt would be. Because you're struggling.
Shara says, amen.
Love always. Yes, guys. Thanks. Yeah, reframing. I really like the word fly-by because the dragons fly by.
Yeah.
And I feel like, they just zoop and we can just take that away. So one of the things that I, deal with a lot is looking at like making things bigger. As far as a bigger vision, a bigger audience, things like that is kind of what we're currently playing with. And in doing so,
So be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your buddies.
Thank you. And one of the things was, there's words that came up that like you can't make $100,000 with a small audience of, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It didn't even really matter, right? And I go, okay.
And so
I see how
ego telling you that, right? Like giving you the lie. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, and then it was like, well, no, because I actually have had experience of that because I've had clients and events that have like changed everything in
Yeah.
a moment in time.
Yeah.
And so I'll be like, well, that's a lie. And then I'll go on down, why do I believe this
Mm-hmm.
lie? And then I'll just fly by myself and say, no, that's not, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. It's cute that my little brain thought it for a moment in time, but I don't buy it anymore.
Well, you
And
could have one or two clients that would, and I did,
yes,
right? That,
I know.
right?
I
That
think we
made
both
me,
had experiences
yeah,
that,
yeah,
where we've had, some higher end
yep.
clients and we've had these
And
experience of
I didn't even have a website
yeah,
at the time or an
yeah,
audience,
right,
right? So,
right.
and there was the $100,000.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's a false belief system, but it
yeah.
just comes in at, it does, it makes
Yeah,
you,
something could go viral,
yeah.
that we're, I really think that my belief system is stopping and I'm done. I'm done stopping myself with my stupidity.
Ooh.
One of the classes I once did, they were like, "How much stupidity do you have?"
Let's run that. Go ahead.
Yeah, you
Let's
guys,
see.
you guys
Okay.
want to find some
Yeah,
stupidity in your
let's
life.
go. Woo! All right, let's do it.
How much stupidity do you have for the stupidity that you are choosing?
Oh, my stupidity matching your stupidity, the stupidity everywhere.
Yeah.
Talk about
Yeah.
mirroring.
What stupidity do you have
That's so stupid.
that that's creating more stupidity in your life, right?
Oh,
So we
boo.
do all these like double stupidity
Uh-huh.
things. And
Everything
it
that's
took a lot and yeah.
everything that is we destroy and uncreate.
Yes. Father Time, Mother Earth, DFLS.
Yes.
Thank you. Wow.
uh,
Uh, we will put out the clearing statement at some point
yeah.
so that you guys can have it too. Uh, oh my goodness, it's a clearing chant,
It is a clearing
and
chant
we're going to
because of
start
enchanting.
chanting.
Yes.
It's enchanting.
Yes. Enchant with me.
Yeah.
And if you do see that on social, just know that this is, something for us to kind of get behind and you can make it your own. So if you see something that says chant it with us,
Yeah.
it's really because we're trying to bring in this new earth. And the more we know that we're two or more gathered in intention, then we can change the world. And so by having more heart coherence, be focused on the same things of what we see for the new earth. Wow, this is all coming in.
Yeah, this is neat.
Then we can create the new earth. And the more that we start to have this vision and more collectively, the more we share it, the more whatever. I don't care if you share our stuff or others, but just so that you are sharing stuff that's of light and your light and keep it ignited,
Yeah.
we can ignite the light of others. And so as we start to, more people have that intention, then we outweigh the others,
Yeah.
right? So, it's the cool side, cool.
Yeah.
And because there's no right or wrong, but having that light ignited for a new earth and a different way of being is really I don't want to say the goal, but is something very magical that we have the ability to take back as ours.
Yep.
Is my empowering message of the day.
I like that empowering message of the day.
And if someone else has an empowering message of the day, please be sure to write those in because we are starting an intention circle, and we'll have more information about that out soon.
We're working on an app, you guys. So be patient with us. We're hoping to have it out in the middle of April.
Everything's happening in April.
Yeah, so we're going to put the intention circle on the app and bring all the Mystique groups into these live shows so that we can really commune with them.
So the Mystique Society is our membership inner circle in that way, and then we will have members like just of our community can also get some freebies on the app. So you don't have to be a full-on member.
But there will be an exclusive place for
Mystique.
For Mystique. And Mystique Communications to play together.
It's called
So
Mystique Society. We just keep calling it Mystique.
Mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that way that, because we wanted to have a safe space where people can play and interact and just have non-judgment, the whole community that we've created here, with whether you join us in the Mystique or here
On
live
our shows,
on
yeah.
the shows, writing in, or on the app with some of the free stuff that resources that we're going to put out, is always a non-judgmental. Everybody's on their own journey, so there's no bad questions.
It's really just to
Yes.
support the growth.
Yes, of all of
Yeah.
us.
Believe
And
me, we've
yeah.
both really had effed up lives. When we've kind of found ourselves out of, I would like to say I have found myself completely out of mine, but as you can see, there is sometimes some chaos that still's going on. And
Well, life is a
and
journey,
yeah,
and so
and we're all growing and we're
yes.
all on the journey, and we can meet you wherever you are.
Katie
Absolutely.
says, live, love, and have fun. Settle for
Yeah.
no less. And yes, yes.
I used to have these shirts that were in my business that says "Live, Love, Be,"
Oh
and
yeah.
it was there was a circle on the back, and it said "Be three."
Those three, I got it.
Those three things. Those three. The
And
three things.
we never truly stop evolving. You're right,
Yeah.
Shara. Like that's what's really
Well,
cool.
yeah. I mean, we know that we're not as conscious of the Pleiadians and the Arcturians, so we know we've got at least there to go. Even if we were a Pleiadian, we got here and we got all screwed up.
Oh, right, trying to remember ourselves.
Right? Put our members back on.
And that's another one. Where have you divorced parts of yourself,
Yeah.
like locked off parts of yourself to fit in?
In a world where we're all supposed to be entirely unique.
Right. So I know that I've been in relationships, like when I was married before, like I was not this, like I have a big personality, but I love to have fun and go, and like I'm super social and blah blah blah. And I did not have a person in my life that was about me being that free spirited person.
Mm.
And it was probably wanted me to be much more quiet. Very. I don't want to talk about the past relationship because. But it was not friendly or conducive for that. So I locked up parts of myself. Like
Yeah.
I divorced parts of myself, of who my personality truly was,
Yeah.
in order to make this other person happy. And it was very sad. And
But did
yeah.
you just do that for one person, or how many people do? Because I
right?
feel like in a way
I've done it at work. I've done it at
Yeah.
friendships. Yeah.
Yeah. I did learn in Access Consciousness, whenever you align and agree or resist and react to anything, you may have something there to work on. And that'd be a way to find some of these limiting lies that are sticking you for sure.
So everywhere where you've divorced, lopped off parts of yourself,
Mhm.
or made yourself shrink really, really small, would you destroy and create that, please?
Yes, please. Mother Earth, Father Time, all bets are on off DFLs, and we send back to consciousness and love.
Return to center of love.
Yeah, our clearing chant. There's
So-
and I need to bring this up because we have Dr. Dane from Access Consciousness coming to the show in May.
Yeah.
And he will have a clearing statement. Well, we didn't try to replace their clearing statement. We tried to make one that seemed more aligned with us. So anywhere where you think that, well, I quote left Access Consciousness, no, there was no leaving consciousness ever for me.
No.
And I was gaining and learning every single place and space that I have learned from. But a lot of my work did come from that space. So I just thought I would address that, and we can keep addressing it, because
Yeah.
in no way am I separate from Access Consciousness and trying to do something different or
No.
steal their stuff or anything. Because
I'm glad that you
other
said that.
other people have thought that and said that. Well, I was in it, now I'm out of it, and I'm like,
No.
No. And
In
they don't
fact,
even feel that way
no,
either.
in fact, we always talk about having them as mentors and having you,
Yes.
definitely relying and pulling on
Uh-huh.
pieces of that. But when you look back at different places, like, I mean, Access Consciousness was probably one of the first places that in fact,
Like dove deep.
yes, because I was working in your business and I
Yeah.
had never seen anything like it. But when you look at that and side by side with a lot of the other wisdom teachings, you
Yes.
find those core principles there. Whether
Yes.
it's
And
Abraham Hicks,
it's said
where
different
you use,
sometimes, but
where you
it's
use
so
questioning,
aligned.
yes,
Yes.
yes, and where you pull out, questioning and clearing. Abraham Hicks clearing is in the back of her books. So we wanted to really put something forth that felt aligned with our community. And I had been hearing this, and I know Jeneth had too, and I've been saying this, like, I kept hearing Divine say, utilize your clearing and let others know that they could create that for themselves. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can change the verbiage to what it feels, because we have our own signature resonance
Yeah.
to what feels aligned for you. It's really about how do we extract the question that's going to open more possibility,
Mm.
and then whatever it is, right, whatever it is, what feels best and aligned for you. Because what, and this is really
Mm.
cool, what works, and in that same podcast that I referred to earlier, was Matisse DeStefano and Robert Grant. I hope I'm saying that right. They were talking about, so one uses mathematics to explain stuff, and then Matthias uses the fact that he can remember past
Yeah,
lives, and
he
right,
remembers everything, right?
right. And so, Matthias was like, I don't know what you're talking about half the time when you're talking about the math stuff, right?
Yeah.
But they both were saying very similar things, but using two different methodologies for sharing the knowledge.
Yeah.
And so, and before I had been saying this too, I was like, the reason why we always have different speakers on the show is because, and we could have two speakers talking about Akashic records, right? Like, I do too, right?
Right.
But you may not be able to receive from one
Mm.
the way that you would from another.
Right.
And it's because we all have our own signature resonance.
Yeah.
And I said, this is the reason why we would have two speakers talking about the exact same topic, is because how we receive what we need, the information that we are going to, that opens us up,
Mm.
could either come from math or it could come from Jeneth, right?
Right.
Like,
Well,
and Jeneth using math, right? Like, and so
yeah,
that
that'd be
is
shocking.
why we have that, because, and each person, and this, it was so crazy that they were saying this, because I've said this, we've said this a lot.
Mm.
Each person and each thing, I don't think that the human mind is equipped to know all of the things,
Mm.
but each person has, as we traverse on our journey, we each get little pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we come back and we show, like, here's what I got.
Right.
And you and I do that all the time.
Right.
And I'll be like, oh my God, I had just wrote that down the other day, right? The unfolding and the words of folding, and so
and reset.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we take our pieces of what we're gathering on our own spiritual journey, and then we come show each other. And this is what this whole community is. This is why, Shara has pieces and Dana has pieces, and they come and show us,
and Liz and
yeah,
Joe.
Liz and Joe, and they all have pieces, and then we all come show each other, and then we're like, oh my gosh, did you see this? And did you see this? And like, let me show how I work with this.
Yeah.
And you can take it and leave it, whatever you need in that moment.
Right.
As together we create the bigger mind, right? So like, we create the bigger experience, I guess is the better word.
Oh my goodness.
Of this journey.
This is so fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. It really is. All of this, even creating this show and the community, and I mean, every day I stay in awe.
Yeah, I'll have moments where I'm not, and then I'm like,
too.
whoa, and the universe shows, and the gratitude. One of the ladies I met that I used to live, I lived in Missouri until I was 4, and then I got transported to Washington, D.C., because my dad got a transfer. And in those 4 years, I had a neighbor that was just a year older than me across the street. And so she was my only real friend, I think, because I hadn't even started kindergarten or preschool or anything. And so I played a lot with her, and I've always stayed in touch with her through Facebook
Yeah.
ever since Facebook came back.
Yeah.
And we just pick up right where we left off. It's been like 20
That's
years
so
since I
cool.
saw her. Although now I found out that she's adopted and met her biological brother
Oh wow.
that lives in Plano. So
Yeah, here
yeah,
in Texas.
so
Yeah.
and her cousin is moving to probably Nashville, which is right on our way to Virginia, so I'll have other opportunities. But she's so neat. But here's the thing that I really took away from our conversation. She uses the word fuckery a lot in her work, and she does because she works with Child Protective Services.
Mm.
And she shared some of the stories. I won't devastate you, but what I really got is there is a lot of effed up people.
There's some fuckery going on.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly drugs,
Yeah.
but mental illness as well. And we we need to realize that people have gotten and fallen down these sad paths because they were trying to feel better in a world that felt like suffering. And I would like to be one of the leaders that is among these messages that when you feel bad and wrong, you don't necessarily need to put a chemical substance in your body.
Yeah.
That includes Advil when you have pain. I truly think
Lyanca.
even the energy can create to help a headache.
Yeah.
You ask questions, you follow the energy, you don't jump to conclusions, and you follow your heart, you follow your desire with your life. And
Or do the tapping, right?
and stop the tapping, yeah.
Yeah.
See if you're, you can get rid of, like, it doesn't matter if it's physical, emotional, they are the same.
Yeah, it felt real physical. I was having anxiety. I don't know, and I don't normally have anxiety, but I could feel like my gut felt like, and I could feel like in my heart. And that's when I started going, I deeply and profoundly love and accept you, like Lyanca,
Yeah, it's worth doing these tools first.
Yes.
Even if you think that this is a whole bunch of bunkus and bullshit, I think that it's still.
I did back in the day when I first.
Well, I know that's why I bring it up. I was like the biggest skeptic ever. That's probably why I'm probably great at this work now that I've come around and go, holy cow, that actually did work. Remember when we called in Ganesh when we were having trouble?
Because we heard someone else do, one of the other speakers was like, I just called on Ganesh.
But
we did, and it worked.
But the different, and one thing I did learn from Access is that when you really say, I'm an infinite being, and you really fall into that spaciousness of it, things do seem to change versus you doubting this stuff. And then you say, well, I think I'm an infinite being, and I think I can change this with my head. That doesn't work as well. But sometimes it still works. God hears your prayers.
Yes.
Even if you don't think it's going to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see, go up a little bit. There was one that I really wanted to see what they were saying earlier, but I couldn't see it.
Oops, sorry. I just put Joe's out. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. Well, you got to read that one now.
Joe says it's not blaming thing. It feels like an identity to me. Just so much of my focus is there.
Yep.
And look, I was right
That's
there.
That's exactly what this whole thing is about, right?
Yeah, I'm glad that that's resonating.
All right, let's go up.
Let's see. There was one that was kind of long.
Such divine fun. Woo!
Yeah, thanks. Let's see. Maybe they were just chit-chatting with each other, but I just wanted to see what that said. Oh, that's okay. That's long.
Yeah.
All right. So an example of how identity are so sneaky. Been on the present journey. There were certain people that were told in the trailer park where I live. Now when someone sees me, it's like how are you doing today? I do my job locking up at night, and somewhere in those rounds, someone has dinner waiting for me. How cool. Sometimes I don't even know them. It feels like identities, it feels like the identity I have here now, and I'm imagining, is the old man with his serious illness that they have to take care of. But truth be told, I love the attention. I loved the attention at first, but I really just, want to be me and just want to be free. I totally gather that. But, also remember, to receive. Um, so like I used to be the person that had a hard time taking a compliment, right? And I do all these things to like look nice and all this stuff, and I was like, I do the
And then so you're gonna
girl,
post the compliment.
and then I would
That's funny.
I would be like the kind of person that would be like, oh, you know, like they'd be like, oh, this, you know, this cute dress that you get a cute dress. I'd be like, oh, girl, I got this from like the Goodwill. Like I was the first person to try to like make myself always like, you know, not. I tried to be real humble all the time.
Mm.
And one of my friends was like, you don't have to tell them nothing like that. Just say thank you. And I was like, and then somebody else was saying something like, oh, you look really lovely today. And instead of like, oh, you know, like whatever, I would just be like kind of brush it off. And then instead, I could just receive and say thank you.
Yep.
I'm like, I did do my hair, but
Yep.
you know, like the thing was,
But
that,
you don't even need to respond as to why.
no,
Yeah, and I think we're
no.
so used to it.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
That was the problem, was that I was not just receiving to receive.
Yeah.
And where we cut off the receiving just to receive is where we cut off other forms of receiving.
Yep.
So when I was doing that, I was keeping myself essentially like poor, if you will. Right? So I was unable to receive because I had to be humble.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't have something that was like better than anyone or anything like that. And so what that does is it tells the universe like, okay, well, cool. I got to slow down this because she's overwhelmed by this and doesn't. And I was like, oh, that's so wild. I never understood that at first. And now I'm like, thank you.
Absolutely.
Like, and I usually just try to give a compliment back. And sometimes I don't even have to do that.
But see, that's still you playing into how this world should be.
And so,
although it does feel good for the other person because it felt good for you. So a gift is a gift.
Yes. That is the way I see it. But sometimes I don't feel I have to give that back. I'll just be like, thank you. And I'll just let them know that I'm genuinely receiving and grateful for the compliment, period. That's it. And really, I let it hit me. Like, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I'll let myself receive the compliment. Yeah. It's really strange that way. Katie said 100%. People who tell you that they that love is their love language. Yes, thank you. Love is that's their love language, and they just want you to be able to receive. And I didn't understand that at the time. I just didn't.
No, and it's funny. I found sometimes it's for worth conversation, especially if you have acquaintances. I think it's really good to make other people feel good. I mean, we might as well make people feel good than feel bad. Jeez.
And we don't have to make anyone do anything, too, right? Like, but
they always have a choice. But we're the only one that knows that we don't have to feel bad when somebody says you look like shit. I mean, right? Yeah, you look really crappy in your Goodwill dress.
Point of view. You have that point of view,
right? Snap.
I'm like, all right, thanks for the judgment because I just got more money. Have you heard that? Have you heard us talking about this?
No.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Oh, so in Access Consciousness, and they've shown, and in
our Woo and Celebrity News.
Woo and Celebrity News, yeah.
Okay.
So, two things. Okay. There is this gal on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills named Amanda Francis. Amanda loves stirring the pot, but she
really
doesn't.
Into woo.
She's really into woo, and she really is on our page 100% that your desires create your reality. Mm-hmm. Your point of view creates your reality. Mm-hmm. That's what Dane says in Access Consciousness. That's where the two overlap.
Yep.
So we're working to create this world where we get people to see their desires, acknowledge their desires, follow their desires. And we also know that judgment is one way to really get people. Now, they have to judge you in a certain way almost. Like, so if you look hot and you're strutting your stuff, people will often judge you as wealthier, or people will judge you in a certain way, and Dane can talk better of this. But they say every time that somebody judges you, you get $5,000. And I was like, and the first time I'd heard it, it was kind of like you had heard it from Lyanca the first time. And I was like, what the heck? And then as I've watched Amanda be on Real Housewives, I'm like, yes, because if you judge, you even get bad publicity. If your audience is big enough, then more people are like, what really is the story? And then all these eyes are on you, and
That's
it
it right
doesn't
there.
matter
Yep, that's it right
how,
there.
I mean, good news, bad news, you get news. And that was just such a great representation of her strutting her stuff, owning who she is, and truly getting so many people to judge her, and she's going to make a crap ton more
Yeah, all the
money.
way to the bank. Look at
She's openly said, I'm writing a new book now. Thank you very much for the idea.
and
And
said
now
it
they're
on the
judging
show.
that so much more. They're like, you're writing your own book?
So every time they're saying that on the show, it's like more publicity
Publicity
for
for
the
her.
book.
And for us talking about her and other podcasts talking about her. I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
And I mean, and that's not a bad thing, because then she gets to take this message out that we know works,
Yes.
right? Like we get
Well,
it from a quantum mechanics
Yeah.
standpoint. From
right.
she's not the person that coined it. It's
No.
Napoleon
She's-
Hill wrote about this. So Tesla talks about the
Your thoughts
understanding
create
yes.
things.
Yes,
and
yes, right.
Yes.
Think and grow rich, right? She's just taking it all the way to the bank, which is
Yes.
smart and changing the world at the same time.
Yes.
Just like we do on this show.
Yes, it's, I almost have a little envy therein for her. I'm
If
like,
you spot it, you got it.
right?
Yeah.
I'm spotting it.
There you
I
go.
want to got
There
it.
you go. I love it. I love it. Alyssa says, every time someone judges, I get $5,000. Bring on the judgment. And
Yep.
here's the thing.
Snap, snap,
yeah,
snap.
let's go, girl. So here's the thing. It's like, if you're putting yourself, and I really think it's because you're putting yourself out there. For her, she's putting herself out there. And I remember other people that follow her Amanda Francis pretty
Yeah.
astutely, and they're like, did you hear Amanda Francis is going to go on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is known for stirring up muck, right? Yeah. And Amanda's known for being, manifesting queen and like joy and like, oh my gosh, I'm going to talk about.
She's manifest money.
Yeah,
queen.
yeah, right. And she's going to talk about her, money, because that's what they do. They celebrate each other, and her community gets it, right? And my friend, I remember my friend
And
was
they
worried about
should get it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really just kind of like, she's new girl in the group. She's making all this money. We don't get how she's making all this money. She's basically telling people to think about money, and then they'll give her money. They're like, they don't really know how it all, they don't really understand it, I think.
I tried to, so I saw some of that post, and I tried to go in and post about it, and I was like, let's be clear. Napoleon Hill is, this has been talked about for years, and it's like in Think and Grow Rich. And
it's
because
crazy,
I put this post that I was thinking of writing, I wrote some of it and I put it in the Chat GPT, and it made it better without all the errors because I didn't have my glasses on. So I posted it, right? And somebody was like, oh, this is totally AI. And somebody else wrote they're like, oh, you probably scammer like her. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Well, yeah, right.
And so I just wrote back no, it's free. Consciousness is free. Energy, it's
I mean,
really
it's the number one thing that's going to change your life for the
And
better.
then finally, somebody else kept going on. She was going on and on. And she was like, and I was like, no, I care about people. She goes, you care about making money. And then I finally just put prayer hands and a heart. I love you and your heart. And then that's that, right? But that judgment, it was interesting because it triggered me a little bit.
Yeah. And
all I was doing is coming to her defense and talking about how this is tried and true information, right?
Yeah.
And how we, it's we've been doing this, we talk about it in our show, And then I was like, oh my gosh, I got the judgment on me.
Yeah, they're not even open to hear your point of view.
No,
They'd rather just live in this human reality and suffer.
And instead of egging that on and defending my point of view,
Yeah.
I just let them have an interesting point of view. So I just was
Yeah.
like prayer hands and a heart, because I was like, I'm not going to change this person
Yeah.
in this way.
Yeah.
And I could let them find us and not trigger something within them, right?
Yeah.
Like they can find us through, whatever. But I just thought it was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I also,
Wow.
this is a great lesson too, of how I was able to, and I was like, oh, what do I say? And let me tell you, I had like 3 things that I was gonna write back, and threw another thing, and I was like, delete, 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 and I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna put some prayer hands and a heart, and however you take that, this is straight from love, and that's that, right? Like I
Wow.
just shut it down right there, because in that moment I remembered interesting point of view that person had that point of view, and was able to just reclaim my power, and then be happy, right? I didn't have to be right. I wanted to be happy, and that's
Right.
that, right?
Right.
And send them love as well.
Yeah.
Return to consciousness and love.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. I forgot to tell you about that too.
No,
right?
I love that. I can see how that could totally happen. I've gotten involved in something too, and we don't even need to talk about that. But where people were like fighting me, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not trying. I was just trying to help the conversation. I wasn't trying to.
Yeah.
I know we've gone long, but I wanted to show one other thing to
Okay.
you. We've briefly talked about. I have this theory where your point of view creates your reality no matter what. So if you know you, I guess how I want to put this, if your ego wants you to do something like Trump is doing, and he thinks he can, and he can manifest that, same with Elon or whatever. And so it doesn't matter if you come from this egoic standpoint, or you come from,
True.
conscious and the field is guiding me. Either way, you can manifest.
Yeah.
And I just think it's important for us to go, okay, so do I want to manifest this just to manifest it for myself? Or do I want to manifest it with consciousness? Or because I desire it, is it desired through consciousness? So it's just some room to think about things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I
one
think
more.
this is really great. A comment I did want to say. I'm not sure who said it, but if you take it, let's see. Well, this said there are going to be people who will find reasons to judge you. You could save puppies from a burning home, and someone will find a way to judge it. So save the puppies, color your hair, paint your room, and draw roses with stencils. Listen to that music that feels great. Even if that happens to be death metal, live your something. Live your life and shine on the way that you were meant to. Only you would know the way that you were meant to find your light will find it. Be you! Exclamation point.
Yes.
Sorry, I was jumping around.
Yeah.
But a beautiful, beautiful message. I really wanted to read that. That's why.
That is beautiful.
Absolutely. And if you're feeling some type of way, do all of those things, because it does make you feel better. I've painted my house. I've colored my hair. I have listened to metal music, and I've listened to like Mariah Carey whenever my family was like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm like singing to the top of my lungs, because it does change the way that you are feeling. And if you change something, if you can break out of that little, then you give yourself more possibilities. Yep.
Fabulous.
And you change your frequency.
Yes. And what I've noticed in just doing this work, and almost me making other demands on my life, I just am kind of can go with anything. It's sort of like I don't get all tangled in a ball anymore and try to find my way out of it. It's like I'm a little bit, less stressed about everything, because I know I'm guided. Yesterday I flew home on flight 333 at 222 was the time or something, and it was on March 2023.
And I found your 555, your 444.
I know, that was so wild. It's 12 right now.
Yeah, and I took a screenshot, but I didn't send it to you.
I'm just like, no, I get that that's indication that I'm guided, and I am guided.
Yes,
so.
And that you're following your path. I love that.
Absolutely.
And then I was like, I logged into like ClickFunnels, because that's what we use.
Yeah.
And I looked, and I was like, does that say 555? And just that say 444. I was like, okay, universe, I hear you. Thank you.
Right? That's funny. That's awesome.
And then Katie says, that's right. What others think of you isn't your business. 2 exclamation points.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I absolutely I agree with that for sure. I mean, otherwise we could just get caught in that whatever.
Yeah.
The only business that it is straight to the bank.
Yeah. All right, guys, we've got a couple announcements.
Yay!
We are going to have a new summit that starts April 13th, and we have 15 guests coming on board, and it's all about the nervous system reset. And it's really going to be guided around the nervous system, and every single one is going to have an activation to really help or support or balance your hormones around your nervous system. We're even having a couple wellness calls as well, so look for that coming in April.
It's really cool because we were able to, again, because we're live, and we were able to tap into like what's going on around us in the collective. And of course, you've got like the unrest, the war, the shift. Lots of light codes are coming in. There's lots of stuff that talks about like, humanity is like making this shift and whatnot. And so whatever that is, sometimes it can be very unsettling. And so I know for me, I was feeling all kinds of waves, even just looking at orbs, like orb videos to talk about what I talked about earlier, was still making me feel some type of way. I don't know why. I think it was just because I could feel the angst from other people, like they were worried about stuff or whatever it is.
And that may become like, oh, I get it now, later.
Yes, Ethan Hawke was on Stephen Colbert talking about like how there was anxiety, and so he came out and he did a monologue about like, how in history we've seen these times before, but
cool.
in the fact that we can be live and do this summit, it was very divinely guided and timely, and so that's one of the things that I think is really beautiful that we're able to bring, just because we're doing it all live, and so we can actually really support people. To be a call for clarity. It's like kind of the great reset, right? It's a nervous system reset for clarity and empowerment, that call back to empowerment and call back to clarity. And so I think we can start from that place and stand in our own sovereignty,
Absolutely.
But we have to kind of like, we were, we got to know the tools, right? Like I had to use mine, tapping and my Ho'oponopono last night to feel better. Yeah. Stay away from the doom scrolling.
So we've got that happening. We have something coming right after the summit. We're not going to tell you what it is exactly yet, but look for that.
Yes.
And then Masika's going to get kind of an upgrade this time round as the summit goes. So as some of the newer people might come in with the summit, please know you're going to get a lot more of us and engagement and a way to connect it within a community. We're not jumping over Facebook and then going to Substack of wherever else we want to go. It's we're going to try to grow, have one place, solid community, long term.
Yay!
So I'm excited about that.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. That should be really, really fun.
I know. And so the special something will come out the very next week after the summit. So the summit goes from the 13th to the 17th. Remember to mark your calendars. It's at 9 a.m. Pacific. We've got 3 speakers a day. So if you could come hang with us, please do. We'd love to see you on the chat. And then if you can't, be sure to leave us a comment on the replays too, because we will be feeding in your questions and your thoughts to the speakers every single day. And then we've got something super, super juicy the very next Monday that we kick off as well. So you'll see all of that plus the new rollout for the app all happening in April. It's a big month. And I feel like we're forgetting something else. But this also will, we'll talk about the next live event. And I mean, it's really going to just keep steamrolling ahead. Oh my gosh.
Excited. For now, I guess that's it. We have a great show planned for you coming this Thursday. I've had to send extra emails and stalk this man to get him on the show. So check your email for that because it's going to be pretty special.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. We'll see you on Thursday. Have a great weekend.
And we're How Hustle reminding
Reminding
you to take a little time to enjoy the woo.
Bye, everyone.